Hey, what is up, guys? Today we are going to play Raptor Call of the Shadows, and this is a game for MS-DOS. I believe this one, yes, 1994 Cygnus Studios. So this is a while ago. This is a very long while ago. So I just figured we'd play some Raptor today, so let's just get into it. We'll have to start a new mission. Twigs, and then call sign. Well, that can be our call sign too. And then if we want to change our ID picture, we click here. I just kind of always like this guy's picture, so I just always run with that. And we'll play on rookie mode. If you play in training mode, what happens is anything that you gain in training mode, you lose. And training mode runs for the first episode, or through the episode that you decide to play. And then anything that you gained, you know, if you got all this money and you got all these weapons, once that level is done with, you lose all that stuff, and then it just puts you right into rookie. So I've always just gone to rookie because the more you play, the more harder the game gets, and I just find it easy to play in rookie. You have a bit of a chance, you know, to get through later in the game. So let's see what we got in the supply room. All right, energy module. It replenishes normal shields, the lifeblood of all pilots. This little package is usually the first thing on all pilots' wish lists. Sold in 25 unit increments only. You have 75. It costs $10,000 and we have $10,000. So this is what we need to buy. This is basically our haul, basically. So any hits we take will take away from our energy module. So let's go ahead and buy that. And we're just going to exit the supply room, and we're going to save a pilot. And we're going to fly our first mission in. Bravo sector is the easiest to start with, and I always consider these two very hard. I know this one would probably be like intermediate, but this one and this one is just about as the same difficulty to me anyway. So let's go ahead and get started here. I just keep the guns running the whole time. I don't care, because there's nothing against you to do that. And if you watch the shadows, you can kind of see where the ship is going to end up. If you get to it fast enough, it doesn't have time to shoot out its ammo, which is interesting. These guys with the rockets, I try to avoid. You know, the more hits we take, the more we ended up getting hurt in the end. These pickups are like bonus money, basically. We haven't taken any hits yet. It's fairly easy once you kind of know. I've been playing this game for years, so I don't know everything where all the ships are going to end up. Oh. Took a few hits there. Now we have air-to-air missiles. Basically, the way this works is you want to try to get as much money as you can through each level, because you are going to need to power up your ship. As the game progresses, they add different harder enemies. It's a fun fun game. I like to play it. These guys will be a lot easier to hit, you know, to take out with the air-to-air missile. I could have got to that other guy, but I didn't want to take any hits to the module, to the energy module. Some enemy ships will shoot tracking ammo at you, so it does get a little bit tricky at certain times. Let's explore these bonus ships. That's what I like to call them. That was my fault. That was our first boss. Alright, so we are going to need to buy another thing of energy module, so that's going to cost us 10,000. So right there off the bat, we're down 10 grand. The first thing we're going to want to buy is this phase shield. What that is, it's the SA-17 Ares is an enhancement for normal shields. The Ares raises an energy field around the fighter, which will absorb enemy fire until its power supply is depleted. So in other words, you can buy up to 5 of these phase shields, and it's an energy bar on the left of the screen. So now you can do riskier attacks and you can take hits and it won't actually damage your ship, or it won't kill you, because once we run out of energy module, then we die. So I usually try to avoid that. So we can't buy anything. And sometimes too, we have the option to where we could buy the mega bombs, but I usually try to pick them up as I'm playing the missions, because it does offer those throughout the game. So some of the times I do see it as a little bit of a waste of money. But let's go on to Bravo Sector Level 2, Wave 2. Still have our air-to-air missiles. These guys are pretty much the same, like, difficulty. It's just a different type of ship. Sometimes I get those guys, sometimes I don't. It's easier once we upgrade. We can pretty much hit every ship then. I always try to go for the buildings as well. If I can't get ship hits, that kind of helps with the getting the money. I won't take any risky attacks, not until I get the phase shield. always try to go for these because I feel like they give kind of like extra money or something. Like this big building here. Try to destroy that. That was pretty good right there. We just destroyed all 4 of those ships. And here's the second boss. Whoa. What's nice with this guy is he doesn't have the tracking ammo like that other ship, like the other boss did in the first wave. You can just kind of hang out wherever. There we go. Now we can afford both because we're going to need to buy another energy module. But I want to go for the phase shield. That's going to cost us 78,500. Oh yeah, we have 45,000 left. So now we have 35,075 left. 35,000. Ion scanner is for when the bosses appear. It will show a health bar at the bottom of the screen for them. That's the ion scanner. The scanner will search the surrounding area for engine emissions from larger craft. Once detected, it will lock on and a damage indicator for that ship will appear. Mega Bomb, that is a special. So the CBU-80 Guillotine is the only dual-purpose bomb in existence. Once launched, submunitions are dispersed along the ground and in the air, raining massive damage upon both ground and air targets. And I'm sure, as you can see, the more items we look at, the higher things get. This is the air-to-air missile selectable. Now what that means is I can change any items that are selectable. I can change from that item to a different item. This is the AIM-31 Mauler has been the mainstay of most military forces since its introduction in 1997. The unrivaled reliability of the Mauler makes it a necessity in any dogfight. And again, when I go to the next item, you're going to see the cost increases, which is the phase shield. We went over that. The plasma cannon, this is always equipped. So what this means is when we switch between our air-to-air missiles to, say, like air-to-ground missiles, this plasma cannon will always be firing. Well, I mean, we have to still hold down the fire button, but it will constantly shoot out so we can attack other ships with it. The muzzle of Dearborn Industries Firestorm is one of the most feared additions to any pilot's arsenal. Its only disability is that it was not designed for ground target acquisition. And again, if we go up to the next item, the bomb, which I don't ever use, you can see the cost increases. But anywho, let's get out of here. Let's save the pilot. I always like to save after a good wave. And let's go to Bravo Sector Wave 3. And you can see there on the left we have the phase shield. So now we can take riskier. See, I just took a hit there. Now, we still want to be careful. We don't want to let every single thing hit us, but if we're in a position where we're not sure if we could take on an enemy because we might end up getting hit, we can definitely do that, and we can be a little bit safer with the face shield. Yeah, until we get there. Missiles, so we can, what I like to do is I like to quick switch missiles. So if there's like a ground target in front of me, I will quick switch like that. But then usually what I do is I hold on to the ground missiles for a little bit. But then I will sell them to try to get to the best. Well, for this mission, there's only a few items that you need. You don't need the best weapon in the game for this, for the Bravo sector. But Bravo sector is my most favorite level to play, as it's the easiest. Now they start introducing ground attacks on me. Or basically like, you know, weapons from the ground, you know, that can hit me and stuff. And if you see this, we can actually get back our health for the face shield. That little energy module that we just got. See this guy, he brings back out the, see, I just took a bunch of hits. It's okay, we got the face shield, I'm not really worried. What we want to do is we want to bulk up with another face shield. That's our next goal. So, we just kind of skip past that. See, so our energy module took no hits, because we have a phase shield. So all of our phase shields will take hits before... And then once all of our phase shields are gone, then our energy module will start to take a hit. Or I shouldn't say energy module, but the hull of the ship will begin to take hits. So we'll buy one more phase shield. And then from there, we shouldn't have to really buy any more. So we just need to be careful. These guys are pretty hard as far as like their strength. They take up to 2 missiles to destroy. these guys are a little bit harder. I don't like these guys because they like to follow you. Got our first Mega Bomb, see? That's why I don't really like to buy the Mega Bombs in the store, because I know that we can pick them up out here on the field. This guy's shooting missiles at us. Well, the other one did too, but this guy's really crazy with them. Alright. We took him down. So, we already have... What do we have? We have 122,250. So, here's where I start doing some math, because there's a buy value and there's a sell value. And unfortunately, the sell value is a lot less than the buy value. So, what you have to do is you have to add up everything that you want to sell, because the items we're looking to buy are the plasma cannon, the micro missile, and the auto track minigun. That is a selectable, but the micro missile and the plasma cannon are always equipped. So when I used to play this years ago, I would only ever buy the auto track minigun, and then once I realized the plasma cannon and the micro missile were always equipped, it's like, well, you know, that is something you're going to want to have. But I like the auto track because what it does is it fires, if there's 3 enemy ships on the screen, it will fire ammo at all 3 enemy ships at the same time. The problem is that while it does have a fast rate of fire, it's like the more enemies on the screen, the more that ammo is being dispersed. So you're not concentrating all your firepower on just one enemy target. But the auto track minigun is 250,650 is the cost. The TH-19 Thor fires 45mm DPU rounds at 4,000 rounds per second. This, combined with an auto-targeting system that acquires ground and air targets, makes this one of the best weapons available. Okay, but I'll show you here. In the game, this is the best weapon. Twin laser. Unfortunately, it's selectable. The Cal 10 Eclipse is the most powerful weapon available. Its twin beams of Azure Fire will incinerate anything in their path. The first and last thing every pilot needs. It would be so nice if this was, okay, so this is select, let's say this stays selectable. It would be so nice. It would be so nice if this would be always equipped. Because to pair this up with that twin laser would be the best thing ever for those other two sectors. But, so we're going to have to play a few rounds of Bravo sector to get here. More than likely, I'll end up having to sell off the air-to-air and the air-to-ground missiles to be able to buy this. This would be the first thing that I buy, and then we'll get the micro missile and the plasma cannon. But for now, we're just going to save and continue. Now here, Wave 5, they throw in a second boss halfway through the level. And you can see we're back on the level 1 ships. Nice. Got a double hit there. Oh, that was good. They're actually not doing too terrible. The less hits we take, the more we can save our money in the bank for the upgraded items that we want to get. There's our second mega bomb. I took a couple hits there, it's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. As long as we don't lose the phase shields until we have the 250,000 that we need to buy the one gun there. Get the auto track. Here's the boss here. So I'm going to use a Mega Bomb. Since he's a ground enemy, we're going to use the air-to-ground missile. And I lied about a second boss. He is the ground boss. So now look, we have 212,725. Okay. So we come here to the sell option. And we go over to the... where do we go to? We go over here to the air-to-air missile. That's 31,750. So I always just break out my calculator here so I can just kind of get a perfect, an exact number. So we'll get 31,750 for the resale of that. That puts us at 244,475. And if we sell off the air to ground, that gives us another 55,000, which puts us at 299,475. So we're going to sell those. I know, I already have the money, but trust me, once you get that auto-select gun, you don't need those missiles. Trust me on this. Because those are selectable, but so is... Whoops. Those are selectable, but so is the auto-track minigun. So we want to keep this on at all times. So we're going to buy this auto-track minigun. We have $48,825, but now we have the auto-track minigun. So things are going to go way better for us. And as always, we're going to save our game, save the pilot, and we're going to fly mission Bravo Sector Wave 6. So there in the upper right, I don't know if you can see that, like kind of like an icon. That's our gun that we have selected, and I can't select anything else because this is the only weapon we have now. We don't have our missiles anymore. But as you can see, the only problem with this is it does not. It will only target ground and air targets. So like the buildings, those are not a target, but that is. These guys I don't care for because you have to watch out for that ammo that they shoot. That can really drain your shields and your shield really fast. So you have to be careful with those guys. Look at what he did to my shield, see? We got another mega bomb, so that's good. I usually try to go for these buildings just because there's a lot to them. They will have a lot of destructive, and I think every time something blows up, you get a point, or you get so many X amount of points for when something is exploding. Now the nice thing here is we can go behind the ship and still attack it. That's what's nice with this gun. Ships are still a little bit hard to destroy. Now we just did a mega bomb there. Now we did pick up a dumbfire missile, so if we select, see now we lost our auto track. Alright, so we did good there with that. So our next two pickups that we need to buy, and at some point we do want the ion scanner, just, you know, we can see the boss ship's level, but we're going to want to sell. We definitely want to sell. We definitely want to sell that dumbfire missile. I just don't care for it. Never have. And then we're going back to buy mode, and we're going to want to buy. We're going to want to buy the micro missiles first, because these. I take these as being kind of like the auto track minigun that we bought. The plasma cannon, well, it only shoots out plasma right from the center, and that's it. That's all it does. So it'll shoot out one thing, and then it'll shoot out another thing. So it's not the greatest, but it helps. So, but we have that. Save. We do have enough for another phase shield, which I might just go ahead and buy, just because of the damage we took to that. We'll save it, and we'll fly Bravo Sector, Wave 7. Now you can see how it's shooting out that extra thing now? Those are the micro missiles. It's just another thing we can use to destroy ships or the enemies a little bit faster. They do not track ground, only air targets, so that's beneficial to us. See how fast I was able to destroy those guys. I had trouble without the micro missiles. That was the first boss. I always use a make bomb here, just because it's easier to get through that. Whoops. I usually try to save my mega bombs for the last level or the last wave if I can. Now sometimes you can't avoid that auto thing that he shoots at you. But there we go. There's wave 7 down. Alright, let's see what we need. We have 123,250. Can we buy plasma cannon? We can. So, we effectively have our arsenal for this level. And now when you go through the level again, okay, it's going to, again, you'll get the air-to-air missiles, you'll get air-to-ground missiles, and you'll get the dumbfire missiles. You can always sell them for extra cash, because the ultimate goal is to get those twin lasers, and then you want to move on to the other two sectors, the Tango sector, and I forget the name of the other one. Because, like I said, I rarely play them. I do, but I like this level the most. So yeah, so we have our arsenal we need. Now, you can use that twin laser for this level, but it's way overpowered for it. The outer regions. Yes, we have Bravo sector, Tango sector, and the outer regions. Let's go right into Bravo sector. Wave 8. So we're almost... We got one more wave to go. And that will finish... that will finish everything tonight. Shoot at those guys, you have to have some confidence. You just have to be like, all right, I'm doing this. And if you sit in front of him, you usually can get him. Wow, it's good there on that one. I usually try to get those guys because they place those mines in the air. Got some energy back. Now, we're not going to be able to build up our energy for this, so we'll probably take some hits from from this boss. This is going to be hard because you usually want 5 shields for the last wave, or for the last wave. Save our mega bombs. We're not going to use them. All right, and we're going to want to buy. Well, I forgot to do that thing with the taking the hits. So, and we can't sell once you buy a phase shield. You cannot sell it. So that's all we can have. We can have, now we're not going to have 4. We have, because we don't have 4 full shields, we're going to have 3 full shields, and then about a quarter of a shield. So we have 3 1/4 really. And then we're going to pick up more mega bombs, so there's no use in buying that if we're going to get it in the next wave. So we'll go ahead and save. And this will be the last wave of Bravo sector. Final wave. Our first mega bomb. So we have 4 now. We can have a total of 5. Yeah, we're almost out of a shield, so we're going to be down 3. We're going to be down a shield. I know we bought enough to have 4, but you have to equalize that at the end of that level. That because when you buy shields, it does not replenish the current shield energy. And there's our 5th mega bomb. We're going to want to save that for the end, unless we have a pickup for another mega bomb that we can use the 1, because the max mega bombs we can have is 5. Here's the first boss. See that? Now we're down. Oh, that guy. Oh, wow. That guy was super easy. So now we're down to 3 shields. So like here, we can use a mega bomb, and we'll pick that one up. So we still have 5 mega bombs essentially. Okay, we're getting close to the end. And we've won. We've destroyed the, I think that's an oil platform. You look back to watch the ruin of Lithos Petrium's rig fade into the smoke-filled distance. With this, not only have you left your mark, but also paved the way for things to come. Your thoughts drift to the missions ahead, where greater odds offer greater rewards. Fate has offered you a path to glory. The rest is up to you. And so we can see our supply room. We have 343,830. That is nowhere near the 1.75 million. You know, it's $1,750,000 to buy this twin laser. There's Death Ray, but see, they're all selectable. The pulse cannon now in the demo version, or the shareware version, it only goes up to the pulse cannon. The other two are not available. The death ray and the twin laser. Laser turret. I've tried this. I don't care for it. The OD 55 Odin laser turret, is a pilot's best choice for air combat. Similar to the TH-9 Thor, the Odin has a faster response time with the laser's increased firepower. It's not that great a weapon. It's just not, because when you shoot, it's just shooting out beams of energy, and it's not like the minigun where it's a constant stream of ammo. That's what I thought this would be. And the Odin has a faster response time with the laser's increased firepower. It doesn't feel fast, it feels slow. It just feels very slow. So I do not use this. There's the power disruptor. The disruptor punches through enemy shields, sending an energy pulse into the ship, overloading its weapon systems and causing temporary shutdown. However, only some ships are affected, and I feel like this is only going to affect boss ships. So to me, there's no reason to have it. And then again, we're back at the auto-track minigun. So it's not really that many weapons, but you know, you play a little bit of this game and you know, you can kind of, I get into it, trying to avoid, you know, all the ammo, you know, that's coming at me from the enemy ships. So, and I know there's stuff that I can't avoid or that I don't, or you know, that I miss. But what we can do is, because we are going to play this again, now we can have max phase shields. Well, let's see where we're at on that. So we'll go back to Bravo Sector. So now the goal we have in mind is to save money for that twin laser. So we might have to play through Bravo Sector 4 times just to do that. Because to go into Tango and the outer regions without that weapon is going to be suicide. How now they add extra ships. There's the air-to-air missiles, so we can just sell them off. Because now we can select to the missile, but I don't see a need for it if we're having this much luck with the current layout of our weapon systems. again, we beat the first boss in Wave 1. So what they do, they just add more and more ships, you know, and I don't think they increase the difficulty of the ships. I think the difficulty remains the same. They just add more ships, basically, which I'm fine with. I don't think we took many hits at all, and it still looked like we had 5. So that's really good, because usually after every mission, I'm always buying a face shield, and when you do that, you basically, the money you make, you burn by buying face shields, basically. So we want to try to save money, and the way to do that is to not take hits. So, and there's nothing else we're going to buy. Like, I don't need the Mega Bomb. I do want to buy the Ion Scanner. Again, to search the surrounding area for engine emissions from larger craft. So what this will do is it'll show basically boss energy at the bottom of the screen. They what they call is a damage indicator. So once the damage indicator is empty, guess what? You've destroyed the boss, basically. So we'll buy that for 10,000. The nice thing is, with the Tango sector and the outer regions, you can pick up extra face shields. One time I had 7 face shields, and the game allows that. But if you go into the market to try to buy more than 5 face shields, it will not let you. So I think that's a little odd. But we've saved our pilot, and we're going to fly Wave 2 of Bravo sector again. I don't know, I think I've gotten way too good at this game. Hey, look at that, we got some energy back. All right. That was a rocket launcher in the ocean. If you can destroy it fast enough, it won't even have a chance to launch any missiles, which is nice. Whoops, and we forgot to sell the air-to-air missiles. I always try to sell that stuff, because sometimes I accidentally select it. We'll do that at the end of this wave. There, see the boss energy? You see it go down a lot faster when I hit him with those micro missiles. Alright, so let's check out the supply room. Look at that, we're already at $373,005. So let's go to the sell option. This we can't sell. This is our basic guns, machine guns. The basic weapon. Air-to-air missile. Sell you. So now we're at 404,000. So we're almost at 500,000. It doesn't take long, really, if you can just miss the shots coming from the enemies. That's the trick. So, just for laughs, I'll just show you how difficult Tango Sector is. I won't hardly be able to hit anything. Because you're probably sitting here thinking, oh, you got the best weapons. I really don't. Wow, I'm actually surprised. I'm actually doing damage to these guys because normally it takes everything to kill these guys. This is a first. This is a first for me. See, we picked up another set of missiles. Those guys were a lot harder. Then they, they bring in a couple of ships from the first thing. Hammered out here. Mega bomb that one. Now we're out of mega bombs. Now the question's going to be, money going to be worth it? We're going to need to pick up probably one more phase shield. This is the only easy boss in this whole sector, I think. I did that purposely so that when I buy the next face shield, look, see, we'll have 5 full shields. That's why I typically do it that way. I'll take a few hits. It's ain't gonna hurt me to take a couple hits on the face shield. Look at that, we are at, so we just got over 500,000. But here's the thing. For me to buy that face shield, see, because it's 78,500. So that really takes your monies down, big time. So I always like to have, going into Tango, Sector, and Outer Regions, always got to have the twin lasers. And then at that point, you're selected only on the twin lasers. So it's like, you know, I guess you could sell back the other stuff because you really don't need it at that point. I just hang on to it anyway. So let's go ahead and save our pilot, and we're going to call it here, guys. Exit hangar. And thank you all for watching. This was playthrough of Raptor Call of the Shadows from 1994. Very fun game. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And if you liked the content here on the channel, give a like and subscribe. And we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.